The World Economic Forum has released a new video warning of the cataclysmic consequences that anthropomorphic climate change will trigger over the next century if humanity's addiction to fossil fuels is not severed. The 2-minute spot navigates the extensive impacts that unchecked global warming will have on various regions of the planet through the coming decades, as well as how drastically terrestrial life will be affected. The sobering forecast, while not exhaustive, have been extrapolated from cited accredited research. Take a look. A report by the advocacy group Stop Funding Heat found that climate misinformation gets viewed up to 1.36 million times every day on Facebook alone. Fossil fuel companies, other major polluters, and their allies have spent hundreds of millions of dollars to spread climate misinformation on social media. One 2021 analysis found that 16 of the world's biggest polluters were responsible for placing more than 1,700 of these ads on Facebook in 2021, generating roughly 150 million impressions. Climate propaganda can also provide false comfort to those struggling with the enormity of the threat, so it's understandable that people would want to bury their head in the sand as a coping mechanism. GOP politicians are certainly not helping the cause, with our very own former U.S. President Donald Trump amplifying more lies, articulating that climate change is a hoax invented by China, and wind turbines cause cancer, among just a few. We have to keep in mind that the climate crisis and weather are not necessarily the same. Cold snaps and winter seasons are still happening in places all over the world. However, it is the rise in the average global temperature that is driving extreme and devastating climate impacts such as flooding, biodiversity loss, soil degradation, and more. Since the 1980s, each decade has been hotter than the one before it. The warmest 7 years have all been since 2015, with 2016, 2019, and 2020 in the top 3, according to the Met Office. Scientists from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change argue that alongside the need for tech applications to reduce emissions, we should be harnessing the carbon sequestering powers of the planet itself. Nature-based solutions, such as efforts like reforestation and ecosystem restoration, pay for themselves with a triple dividend, as they sequester carbon, boost biodiversity, and aid in human well-being. Nature-based solutions are estimated to have the potential to lift 1 billion people out of poverty, create 80 million jobs, add an additional $2.3 trillion of growth to the global economy, and also prevent $3.7 trillion of climate change damages. Now it's up to investors to acknowledge this potential and direct the funds where they're needed. Thank you for watching Raw Story TV. Please be sure to visit us at rawstory.com. Stay informed and tap below to take action by liking, subscribing, and joining all those who like their news raw.